or public servant. Okay. Say his name and he appears. Well, oh, is Austin in the chat? No, he probably is sleeping in this morning. He was very tired last night. um G hits the stock market crash button now. Worst Trump executive orders. And more later. I will learn the way of the samurai once more alongside Wirunefu Austin Show. Wait, what the hell? Why is Austin Show not coming up? Using sexy voice? No. Cat Cafe when? Like, some of the streams I'm looking forward to the most. One of the streams I'm looking forward to the most, for the record, is today. This is one of the streams I'm looking forward to the most. I was really excited about the One Piece one. It was a little underwhelming, I'll admit, on my end. Here, we're blasting off chat. But today I'm going to be learning the way of the samurai once again. Now, some of you might know that I already am a samurai. You might be thinking, Hasan, well, you're already a samurai. Like, what are you saying? You're already a samurai. And and to them I say, you're right. Like, I have studied the blade, right? I have learned the blade. I've learned the way of Bushido, which is like the original boy love, for those of you who don't know. I already trained last time I was in Japan, and this time basically I'm a sensei, sharpening my katana. And also I might teach like the senseis there a thing or two. Like, basically the thing that's happening is, like, they called me in, right? They called me in and were like, Hasan senpai, daijoubu desu. Like, they basically said, like, we rely on the deep well of knowledge that you have as a person who is spiritually Japanese. You have carried on the torch of the ancient arts of Kendo, Bushido, like the way of samurai, right? And basically they were like, you are our last opportunity to make sure that the next generation of young Japanese men can also learn about the Bushido. Like, it's a weird responsibility. It's a weird responsibility I have, because, like, on the one hand, I get it. It's like, come on. Like, I get it. I'm like the last samurai. Ugh, white savior vibes, whatever. Okay. But also, on the other hand, like, Japanese people basically like overcoming maybe even like historic xenophobia, right? Specifically because, this is a time-honored tradition that must be carried on to the next generation. And I think it's because they just like noticed how much respect I've offered and how Japanese I actually am, if you know what I mean. And that's why they were like, please come teach us how to be samurai. Yeah. So that's just, I mean, it's like, don't Don't even bring it up. I don't even want to hear it. Like for me personally, it's nothing. You know what I mean? It's just like it's something that I would have done anyway. So they just basically called me back in. They called me into battle. I'm gonna teach him Aikido as well. Samurai stuff again, rehashing from last Japan stream. Yeah, if something is fucking dope, we're gonna do it again, dummy. What's wrong with you? Yeah, and Austin's coming this time as well. So yeah, I said yes. Yeah, I'm kind of like Steven Seagal, pretty much, but like Japanese, like actually Japanese. He's fake Asian. I'm real Asian. So let's get started on the news. All right. After all of that, very exciting stuff happening in the world. It is Monday for you guys. It's Tuesday for me, but it's Monday for you guys. So we might as well get to the news. Am I right? It's Monday News Day, baby. So let's do it. We've talked about this already for the past couple of days, but the stock market is now collapsing a little bit. Let's talk. As you guys know, DeepSeek was like, "Oh, you guys are doing some cool AI stuff out there." China basically looked at America's AI tech, which I think this kind of exposes the fraudulent nature of the American AI sector in its entirety. But after half of a decade of like American tech CEOs saying AI is, you have to give us like $7 gazillion and also change the laws so that like we can kill whatever Indonesian children we need to kill in the farms, in the electricity farms as we melt the rainforest. And how AI is eventually going to kill all of us anyway. Oh my God, it's so powerful. I'm so scared of my own invention. Please give me endless money, please. Right? Like after American AI people basically lost, basically just kept repeating over and over again how insane it is, right? How AI is dope. And how no one will ever be able to overcome this American dominance of AI. Virtually a day after, or 2 days after, basically, the $500 billion investment that Donald Trump signed off on, the Chinese government was like, "Hey, by the way, hey, just so you know, we had a bunch of engineers that on the side looked at all of the open AI stuff and made their version of it for like literally $1." Hey, cool AI. We made one, and also now it's free. So we're just totally undercutting the American like paywalled strategy of trying to make AI that is paywalled. And also we're just going to show you it's open source. So like you can look at it. You can open up the hood, look at it, try to comprehend it, understand that it's like not super complicated. Yeah, here we made it for you guys made it for $600 billion. Here we made it for $6 million. Also, in the process, the American government was like, "Wait a minute, how are you able to do this? You don't have the powerful chips. You don't have the microchip technology. It's illegal to export those things to you," which is the dumbest thing on the planet. In this global marketplace, America was like, "No, we definitely have stopped the fucking Chinese government from being able to purchase like processors." What? Like, what? How is that? Bro, you can buy a fucking new Bentley in Russia right now, okay? Like, I feel as though I think our American overlords, our American capitalist overlords, have designed an incredibly complex web that is interconnected, interwoven in many meaningful ways that we call global trade. And now they want to dominate that global trade by saying, no, 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 we're the guys who control it. No, 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 stop. Stop with this global trade, please. And they just can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. And it's very funny. And I think it goes a little bit into the Genghis Gambit that I've talked about before, where once again, our adversaries are using our tools against us to dominate us in very meaningful ways, in spectacular fashion. Okay? And again, the Genghis Gambit only works if your enemy is a little white supremacist, maybe a little bit white supremacist, and operating on this like Orientalist notion that a Chinese peasant society would never be able to overcome being the hyper exploited slave labor manufacturing hub of the world. They would never be able to, in a matter of mere decades, become a domineering force on the global marketplace. Like that would never happen. They would never be able to make products that are competitive and if not better than the American versions because they're Chinese. They're stupid, right? Like that literally is the reason why I think American capital owners were like, yeah, sure, you can take our IP. Make a cheap copy of it. Who cares? Like, whatever. And in that process, we will use your labor force as this super cheap manufacturing labor force while undercutting the American labor force in and of itself. Why does the physical stature of the white supremacist matter? Physical stature of the white supremacist? You're misunderstanding what I'm saying. You are misunderstanding what I'm saying.
Last week,
what I'm saying is, historically speaking, American capital owners have thought, well, we really, in their endless profit seeking, they've thought, oh, we can get away with just like using China as a manufacturing hub, and we can even give them our IP in the process, and never fear that they could ever make like a competitive product to the American engineered, brilliant products that. Fuck, hold on. I have to fix something here. There it is. That's the problem. Okay. Oops. God damn it. Fuck. Basically, American manufacturers never foresaw the Chinese manufacturing getting to a point of competition where they would dominate the American manufacturers. That's why they did not care. That's why they were like, yeah, you can have all of our info. You can have all of our tech and make cheap Chinese copies of it. When in fact, those cheap Chinese copies year over year got better and better. And now when people say like, oh, you're going to get the Chinese version of this, it's probably a cheaper copy. It's like, no, in many instances, the Chinese version is the better version now, right? They make it for cheaper, and oftentimes it's quite literally better, right? And it's a big deal. And what's happening with like DeepSeek, what's happening with the Chinese version of this AI is kind of similar to that as well. It works off of some of the training that OpenAI was also utilizing. And not only that, but also on top of that, they did it with these chips that the American government had made it illegal for the Chinese to have. But of course, in this day and age, partially due to like I said, the complicated interconnected web of global trade. I think I'm misunderstanding because I just joined. I get why we would be upset with the American economy, but why are we grifting the CCP now? This is the first time I tuned in for a while. What the fuck happened to Hasan? Why are we grifting for the CCP? What the hell does this have to do with grifting for the CCP? I'm explaining to you what American capital has done to American dominance. I'm explaining to you the concept that is very simple, which is that endless greed and endless profit seeking is inevitably suicidal. And that endless greed and endless profit seeking, paired up with white supremacy, assuming that the people that we're dominating around the globe will never be able to use our tools against us, can end up undermining American dominance. Not only am I describing this process, but I'm also telling you that I don't have a vested interest in American capitalist corporations dominating the marketplace in any capacity whatsoever. I want everything to be open source, especially things such as artificial intelligence. I want artificial intelligence also not to displace the existing American manufacturers and the existing American labor force, or the existing labor force in its entirety. If this is too difficult of a concept to comprehend for you, and you're just going to go back to weird hyper nationalistic boundaries in this conversation, well, then I don't think you understand. I don't think you understand much of what I'm talking about. Endless profit seeking will always destroy the host nation that is engaging in it.